Okay.
Welcome back to the Shine Within podcast. Malti Patel is a spiritual guide, author, and transformational coach dedicated to helping people connect with their higher selves, overcome limiting beliefs, and co create their lives with the universe. With a PhD in artificial intelligence and certifications in Reiki and NLP, she blends science and spirituality to empower individuals on their manifestation journeys. Malti is the author of Ascending into the Light, Messages from the Angels, and Manifesting from the Soul, How to Raise Your Vibration and Unleash the Power Within, offering profound insights into spiritual connection, mindset shifts, and the law of attraction. Through her teachings, meditations, and blog, Enlight One, spelled ENLIGHT, and then capital ONE. She offers and she inspires others to raise their vibration, unlock their intuition, and manifest their dream lives with clarity and confidence. You see, it's been a while since I've done podcast.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Can't even read the intro that I created for you. Oh, this is what's so much fun, and this is what I love. I get to be myself. And
Yeah.
before Melty, like I used to be like, Gina, you suck. Why did you talk like that? But you know what? I'm a human being living here on
Yeah,
Earth, and I'm just experiencing what other people experience and are just too shy to express that. Hey, we all make a little bit of mistakes here and
we
there, but that's
do. We
okay. It's
do.
fun.
It is. It's
Gina
fine.
cannot read today, but that is okay.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for being on my show today. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Cool. Thank you. So thanks for having me. Absolutely.
Yes, and you're from the UK right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I was actually born in the UK. Yeah, I worked in Sydney, Australia for a few years, and then I came back to the UK. So, yeah, pretty much back home, as it were. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you've been on a deep spiritual journey yourself for many
Yeah.
years. What
Yeah.
actually first sparked your connection with spirituality and led you to explore a higher consciousness?
Yeah, it's quite strange. I mean, my background is that our family is very scientific, so they don't really believe in anything spiritual. My mother did; she was a Hindu, but the rest of us, brother and sisters, and that, so it has to be science. It's all got to be proven. So I went into science and AI and stuff, but I actually moved to Sydney in Australia quite a few years ago now. And I think I'd got everything. I'd got the job, got the friends, everything was fine, had the money, but it felt like everything was good, but something was missing, like almost like there has to be something else. And so I remember I was just walking one weekend along a beach in Sydney. It's a beautiful day, just walking along the sandy beach. And I just said out loud, or maybe silently, I just said, if there's something else out there, please let me know. And it's really funny because the next day was a Monday and I was drawn to go to a bookshop. I went, I was just looking through the books and I came across Wayne Dyer's You'll See It When You Believe It. And I just picked it up and I thought, oh, I'll buy that. And it that whole just started the whole journey for me. And I started to read it and it opened up that there's this whole spiritual aspect of myself that I just completely not connected to or disconnected from, completely ignored. And so once I started that journey, that led to that fulfillment. Like this is what I've been missing. This is what will make you feel fulfilled and complete. And it is that kind of the spiritual entourage you have around you all the time, your angels, your guides, always helping you. You just have to ask them, which I think people don't realize you have to ask. And they're so happy to help you. And I think that's what's just led me. It's just, and then you start to uncover so much about yourself, like, why do I behave like this? Why do I do this? And how can I make myself better as a person? And it just leads you on this amazing journey, I find.
Absolutely. And the key word you said there is ask.
Yes, please
I did.
ask.
Ask. Yes.
They're not allowed to help, you see. So you might be in the worst situation imaginable, but if unless you ask them, unfortunately, they can't help you. So I would say to anybody listening, just start to ask your angels for anything and everything. And I do it all the time.
Wow. Now, you do teach that we co-create our lives with the universe. And I always say
Yeah.
Gus, God, universe, source. So I always say
I
Gus.
like
Sometimes
that,
you're like,
Gus.
who's Gus?
That's
Because
good. I like that.
yeah, everyone's interpretation is different. I say God, I say universe, I say a source. So I'll say all three of them at
Yeah,
different times.
sure.
But what does that process look like, and how can we go ahead and start to actively participate in our own creation?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all about, first of all, raising our vibration, by which I mean our thoughts and feelings. So it's like Gus itself is it's on a vibration of love, it's on a vibration of kind of gratitude. And the more we can raise our vibration to those levels, the easier we can connect to it, the easier we can start to deepen our intuition, which is almost like the universe communicating with us. So I always kind of feel that people, we start off with very judgmental, we can be angry, we can be fearful, and it's all about trying to rise above those sorts of emotions as much as you can, and to try and stay as much as you can in a state of like gratitude and positivity, optimism, which is what Esther Hicks talks about in the law of attraction, trying to raise that vibrational level. And then once and then it's almost like a game. It's like, you want to manifest something. Let's start with something small. Can I don't know, manifest, I don't know, maybe getting a discount on something, something really silly that doesn't mean anything. And it's like a game. You say, like, dear universe, I want this to manifest. Please help me manifest it and see where it takes you. So it's a bit of both. It's about raising your thoughts and feelings, and it's also about just seeing it as a child and just seeing what you can manifest, but starting off small. I think they always say, try and get a car parking space. You're going to the mall shopping, just say, dear angels, please make sure there's a car parking, a space for me when I get there on a busy day, and see where it takes you. That sort of thing, I would say.
Wow, it reminds me, like sometimes at Costco, I get so frustrated trying to find a parking spot. And so I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to get some extra steps. So I'll park far away and just walk. I'm like, this is madness.
Well, in the holiday season, it's hard, isn't it? So I would
Oh my
say just
goodness.
just ask before you go, get in the car, like angels, make sure there's a space for me when I get
And that has happened too. I think that happened to my husband once, and
there.
he was just driving. He's like, okay, please, please just let me find a parking spot, and then sure
Yeah,
enough, someone just backs
that's
out. We didn't even
right.
know they were in the car about to back out, but they just backed out.
And
And then ta-da!
I mean, when it's little things like that and you don't really care, but it's quite magical because you think, wow, that just happened. And the more you do it on the little things, the more it increases your confidence. So that
Yeah.
then you can ask for the higher things like, I want a job in this area, or I'd love a relationship, or whatever it is you're trying to get, So it's so much. And also, you can ask them, if you're going through a bad time, dear angels, please give me more light, ease, and grace today, or whatever it is you need, more peace. They will give you anything, and they will help you in any way they can. So it's all about, I suppose it's all about just day to day knowing that they're there, that spiritual aspect of yourself is there, and how can I connect with it today? What can I do today to feel it is around me, kind of thing.
Yeah, so myself, I struggled with so many limiting beliefs, and I
Yeah.
know a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of the
Yeah.
listeners still struggle with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, because that blocks our manifestations. Now,
Yes, yes.
what are some what are some of those common, what are some of the most common ones, and how can we go ahead and begin to overcome them, those limiting beliefs?
So yeah, so the limiting beliefs, let's start with finance, which is a great one, money beliefs. We're brought up with our beliefs by our parents, our carers, our teachers. And I say we have a belief wardrobe. Now, those beliefs, most of them for us, they were put there by your parents. They weren't even put there by you. And it's like, money is the root of all evil, or, you know, we're poor, we'll never get to that stage. Or somebody might have said, oh, you're not clever enough to earn any money. And so all these deep-rooted beliefs kind of they take hold inside our subconscious. And they're like brick walls, we don't even know they're there because they're in our subconscious mind. And so we might say, oh, I want a job, we're earning whatever, X amount of money. But if it's something that's going against your deep-seated limiting belief, you just won't get the job, it just won't happen. And so I've talked about this in my book is you have to go within and you have to say, what sort of money beliefs did I grow up with? What was instilled in me? What did my parents put into that belief wardrobe? And do I still want that? Do I still want to believe that money is the root of all evil? Well, no, I don't. Or maybe you believe that everybody who's rich is really arrogant and selfish and you don't want to be like that. Well, that's another belief because you can get people who give a lot to charity or do lots of good work with their money. So you can like, it's like your clothes wardrobe. You change it regularly. Change your belief wardrobe. Throw out the things that you were given that don't resonate with you. Put in new beliefs that do resonate with you. So it's all about that sort of thing. And you'll find that over time, those new beliefs start to take root, and that's when you'll see changes in your life as that changes. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, and I love that analogy. Like throwing out old clothes that
Well, I
don't
said,
align to you. I love
the clothes
that.
my mum bought for me, I would never wear, you know? It's like,
Toss it out. Like toss out those limiting beliefs and get start putting
yeah,
some new thoughts in
that's
your
right.
head.
It's like, would you still, I mean, I know my mum, bless her, but she used to buy them, had the most awful tasting clothes. And I was like, what? It's like,
Oh,
but
I
it's like
love
the
it.
same with beliefs. What did they give you? And that's across the board, relationships, careers, jobs, everything. What beliefs do you have in every area of your life where something isn't working out? And you can change it, you just have to. I think sometimes we're a bit scared, like I don't really want to look inside my mind, myself to see what's there. But once you do, that's why I love this journey because I have to start saying, oh, actually, that's not a good belief, or, oh, that's not a good trait. And I have to start working on myself then. But I've found that the more I do it, the more life gets better and better. So it's definitely worth doing. Yeah.
So I've been watching, I have a 9-year-old boy, and we've been watching Kung Fu Panda. We watched number one, two, three, and four. He wanted to do the whole marathon. Like, this is a perfect movie for him to watch because it talks about all the answers are inside of us.
Yeah.
All of these wise words of how to raise our vibration. And I'm like, you know what? Why did they have these movies when I was little?
Yeah, I wish I'd teach kids this stuff in school because it's almost like we grow up not realizing that it's almost like our thoughts control us, and we feel like our mind just goes off everywhere. But really, you can start to control your mind and your thoughts. And I wish they'd teach you that in school because we're all on a default manifesting with all these beliefs we've been given that we didn't want, and they start to manifest our life, if you see what I mean. And I
Mhm.
think people find it hard to believe that, well, I wouldn't manifest that. That's an awful situation. But you have because you got all these awful beliefs that were given to you by other people that are not your own. And so if you can start to just throw them out, put new ones in, you will see different situations start to appear in your life because you're attracting it all the time. And yeah, I agree. I mean, at school, it'd be great if they started to teach us stuff. It makes such a difference.
Yes, it's like people graduate and their minds are dull. I notice, some of the teenagers that I've talked to, they're like, I'm not motivated. It's because they're not teaching how to love yourself, how to raise your
Yes.
vibration, how to manifest abundance and love and all
Mhm.
of that.
I know.
Yes, we
And
need a class on that.
we do, and that should be like, I mean, like, I was taught chemistry, physics, whatever, but I remember nothing. If
Same.
they taught me this sort of stuff, I probably would have, it would have been much more useful. I wouldn't have had to spend like 15 years undoing everything I'd been taught.
Yes, I
It could have just started
know.
young. So it's so true that I think inside us we're just filled with all this kind of low self-worth, low self given to us by other people, and I feel like everybody, you are completely worthy and deserving of manifesting a fabulous life for yourself. We all are. We just have to start owning up to it as we work. I think as we work on ourselves, we start to realize, yeah, I am worth it. You really do. So it's a worthwhile journey for sure.
For sure. Now we're talking about raising our vibrations. What are some
Yeah.
practical ways we can actually do this daily?
Yeah, so I always say, I think you've probably heard of this. So, the gratitude exercise, the attitude of gratitude. I think that's one of the best because it's so easy. Just think of three things you're grateful for at the end of the day or as you wake up. Write it down or whatever. Or when you're stuck in a traffic jam, just think of what you're grateful for. And I really feel that it's about feeling the emotion of gratitude. So this is a feeling universe and it's all about our feelings. So it's no point saying, oh, I'm grateful for my family. It's just feel it in every cell of your body, that feeling of gratefulness flowing through you. And the more you do that, the more it starts to raise your vibration. So that's a really easy one, I think, to do it. Other things would be, I see. I would think, well, meditation, I think, is a great one because it's just I know some people don't like it, but to me, it's great. Or do what you like. Like, if you like going hiking in nature, if you like gardening, just something that gives you that sense of passion or something you love to do, try and incorporate that as much as possible into your life. Because you know what I mean? Like if you like hiking and you're out in nature, you're feeling that amazing feeling, aren't you? Of like, wow, this is beautiful, this is wonderful. So it's trying to get into your life as much as possible those kind of high vibrational feelings. And, maybe you're at work and you don't like your boss or whatever. Again, flip it. Try and think of a couple of things you like about work. Like, is there a colleague who's really supportive? Focus on the colleague who's supportive. Try not to focus on the bad boss kind of thing. It's that sort of thing. What can I focus my mind on to raise that kind of feeling level? That's what
Mhm.
I would suggest.
Yes, I love that. And speaking about going out in nature, so when I was a baby, my first memory, there was either a raven or crow next to me. That was my very first
Mhm.
memory. And
Right.
for many years, I thought it was like an omen. It was something bad. I thought I was
Well,
cursed.
even as a baby.
Yeah, growing up thinking about that memory. Well, I remember because I remember this, and I know this is true because I
Wow.
asked my mom about
Yeah.
where my sister slept, how where the doorway is, that there's a hall in front, blah blah blah. And she says, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." So I remember crying so bad, like, oh, crying, getting up. I was standing up at the time and I was holding the crib. And she came
Oh,
and picked me up. So that was my first memory. So it terrified me. And so then, of course, growing up, you hear about, oh, crows are not good. They're
yeah.
not, but they're actually, I would say, my spirit animal because they've been
Yeah.
always near me, but I always thought they were annoying because they're cawing all the time. But what I was saying is that when I'm going out in nature, I will
Yeah.
always see a crow next to me,
That's
flying by
interesting.
slowly in front of me, like they're always there. And I'm just like, oh, this is magical. Okay. This is nice. This is where I need to be. And now I have a relationship with the crows and I communicate with them. This may sound
Yeah.
insane, but I do. And I remember one time I was waiting for my son. He's in high school, and I have another son. He's in high school. And I was waiting in the car. I was picking him up and I saw a bunch of crows across the street on the ground in the grass,
Yeah.
just doing their thing. And I'm like, in my head, I was like, come over here and say hi. Sure enough, I kid you, Malti, they all
Really?
came and they were looking at me. One even when it
Wow.
was like this, looking at me. I'm like, I have it on camera too. So I
Oh, there
just
you go. Yeah. We're
so
all
I
connected,
just
aren't we?
it was just an amazing experience. So I was like, oh, so now I look at crows completely different. I'm just like, okay, they're my spirit animal, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have
well,
a
I
connection with
don't
them.
have you, I don't we have a verse here. It's for magpies. It's like one magpie, one is for sorrow, two is for joy. So every time people see one magpie, they always go, "Oh no, that's really bad luck. That means sorrow." So I've reframed it. I've decided every time I see one magpie, I'm going to say that's my angel, guardian angel, just looking out for me. And now when I see one magpie, I'm like, "Hey, there's my guardian angel." You see, it's like reframe everything. You don't, people
Yes.
say 13 is an unlucky number. I love Friday the 13th. I think it's great. So I just reframe it all and say, I don't have to have those beliefs that even society gives me. I can
Yes.
change it as, it's my belief. I can give it the energy I want to make it positive. So everybody can do that. We don't have to buy into all these things that are given to us, It's not just parents, it's society, community, it's everything, isn't it? So
Right, right.
really think about what you're taking on and do you want that belief or not?
Yes, yes, I love that. Now, can you actually go ahead and share a personal story or perhaps even an example of when you used manifestation techniques to bring something into your own life?
Yeah, yeah. So I was living in Sydney and I wanted to sell my car. I think I was going to come back to the UK. I had a car, and I don't know. I decided, right, I'm going to sell that for 5,000 Australian dollars. And a friend of mine says, ah, it's no way you're going to get that. You know, it's an old car. You'll be lucky to get anywhere near that. And I was determined. And I'd just been reading all these books about being psychic. You know, I was like just delving into everything. So I just said, right, I started meditating and I said, right, who's going to buy this car? You know, in my meditation. And I got this image of a couple and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yep, you know, they're going to buy it. They're going to give me that $5,000. And in the end, a guy and his daughter turned up and they just said, yeah, yeah, we'll give you $5,000. No kind of arguing. Absolutely. Just give it to me. And my friends were like, how did you do that? Because they were convinced. They were like, there's no way you're going to sell it for that amount of money, you know? And so that kind of kick-started the whole thing. Like, wow, if I can do that, what else can I do? And I've, you know, I used to work in IT, and I got retrenched lots and lots of times because of things. But I always had that belief that something's going to come along, something will come along, and it always inevitably did because I just stayed positive. I wouldn't go down the route of like, oh my God, I've lost my job. But no. And so it's just funny. Oh yeah, and I bought my apartment. And I'd got to the stage when I bought my apartment that I was very much in tune with my intuition, right? And people always said, oh, you know, when you buy a place, you got to go and look at 10 properties every day at the weekend. And I was like, oh, what? That's like so much time. I'm not doing that. So you know what I did? I used to go on the websites and I said, angels, I'm going to use my intuition. Please guide me as to which apartments to go and see. So, you know, I saw lots of pictures but I used to say, okay, I don't want to see that one. I want to see that one. And I kid you not, the apartment I bought, it was the second place I saw. And as soon as I walked in, this is going to sound really freaky, I heard my name being whispered.
Wow.
I heard Malti, Malti, like, and I was like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was the second place, and that was it. I was like, and I bought it. And it's like, if we can start to realize that we can manifest and just have that belief and conviction that we're going to do it, the universe will kick in for you. It's the doubts that really bring us down. It's the doubts. That's what it is. So if we can just remove the doubts as much as possible and just know that's going to happen, then I tell you, yeah, you can manifest what you want, really. It's amazing. So there are a couple of the things that I've been quite amazed at, especially buying a place and just second thing I saw. I mean, that to me is amazing when I hear the stories.
Yes, I was going to ask you, how do you feel about those vision boards? Yay or nay?
So I think everything do what feels right for you. They don't feel right for me, but I'm sure people listening, if you like them, do it. And I think that's another thing I always say in my blogs, my books, always do what resonates with you. If somebody says you got to do it this way, I don't like that. I'm like, some people say, I hate meditation. I say, fine, don't do it. Don't meditate. You might like vision boards instead. So do vision boards. Yeah. So I think we're all different. We're all vibrating at different energies. We all like different things. And so do what floats your boat. You don't have to do what floats my boat, but you do what you like. So I really feel, I mean, I've heard so many stories about vision boards and people saying it came true that it has to work for some people. Yeah, it has to. For me, I think it's more meditation, creative visualization meditation. That seems to work a lot more for me. It gives, I think the secret, Gina, is knowing when you know it's going to happen, nothing can stop it. And for me, meditation gives me that knowing. For other people, vision boards might start to give them that knowing, that subconscious knowing it's going to happen. So do what is best for you always.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I hated meditation before. I hated breath work before. I just didn't have the patience, and I understand why, is because there was so much noise in my head. I couldn't be still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it takes practice. And so for all those who are just like, oh, I hate meditation too, just give it a try. The more you do it, the more you'll probably start enjoying it like me. I love my quiet time. I will go ahead. I
Yeah.
do my meditation with some deep breathing called hypno breath work. It's a guided
Right.
meditation that I do. Breathing into the belly, into the chest, and breathing out through your mouth. Everything's through the mouth. So it's like a diaphragmic breathing technique. And
Yeah.
I go out in space.
Yeah. Tell me about
I'm in the
whole
quantum
galaxy
world.
man.
And I'm getting like downloads, I'm getting information because I
Yeah.
set an intention.
Yes,
And when I
same
set
here.
an intention, then I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, this is what it's all about. And I think that's what I never did before. I never set an intention.
Yeah, I always start meditations with intentions. And that for people it could be I just, give the intent to have more peace or grace in my life today. So something simple. And I think intention is that magic energy. It almost sets your energy fields to go in that direction. There's something about saying I give intent that is quite magical. But as you say, we're not taught to control our thoughts. And I think that's why meditation is so hard because our mind's just continually giving us thoughts and it's like going to the gym,
Mhm.
meditation. It's like you really have to give it a few months to actually see any results. I think if you think you can meditate 2 or 3 times and bam, your mind is still, then unless you're amazing like the Dalai Lama, I don't think you'll find that's going to happen. It's persistence. But as you say,
Mhm.
once you do it, your whole consciousness goes off into these other realms, don't you? And I get images, I get messages. I'm just like, whoa. Like half the time I don't want to come back. I'm like, do I really have to come back?
I feel you on that, Milty. I feel you on that. I'm like, I don't want to come back. Let me just be
Oh,
off
I've got
in
to do
space
all
now.
these chores today. I don't want to come back. I want to
I
stay
feel
here.
you.
I think for people who are listening, it's like, okay, it's like this. When you're about to take off on a plane and it's a grey day and it's raining, which, and then the plane takes off and you go above the clouds and it's blue sky and sun. That is meditation. You are continually in that blue sky and sun when you're meditating. Well, I am. But, your day might be filled with rubbishy things, but once you meditate, you hit that beautiful space and it fills you with so much feeling of amazement and whatever it I think that's why we meditate. That to me, that's why I meditate, because that feeling is so gorgeous. And I
Mm.
think everybody can, well, yeah, I think most people can get there with enough patience.
Yes. Patience, persistence, and
Yes,
perseverance. Yes.
absolutely, definitely. But it's worth it, isn't it? It's
It's
really
worth
worth
it.
it. Because
It's
I feel meditation also is like a direct connection to your angels, your guides, the universe. They can really just almost like meld with you at that point so
Mhm.
that And another thing I'll say is when I started meditating, I would get images and I might get messages, and my mind would be like, "Ah, that's rubbish. That doesn't mean anything." And so if you're doing meditation and learning it, just learn to trust what you get. Even if you don't understand it, just say it means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something. And over time, I think you'll get more and more accustomed to what it might mean for your life. So it's quite amazing, really. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yes. And then speaking about angels and spirit guides, what are some of those common signs that our angels and spirit guides are trying to communicate with us?
Well, the first one is the white feather. Have you heard of that? If you see
No,
a
I
white
haven't.
feather, oh no, if you see a white feather on the ground or somewhere, that's the angels saying they're around.
Oh, wow.
So when I started this work, I remember, I just read about angels. I was at a cafe having coffee with a friend, and as we went to leave, there was a feather on the plate, a white feather. And I was like, where on earth did that come from? And that to me was like the angel saying, "Hey, we're here." So yeah, if you see a white feather, then that's a sign. Or you can say, I don't know, if I see a rainbow, or show me a rainbow, or ask them for something you can see today, maybe, or or ask them for a sign, and they will show you. They'll give you some sort of sign that they're there. But I would say just keep asking. Even if initially you don't kind of get anything, just keep asking. Because eventually
Yes.
you will find something. You will realize, like, because I think maybe sometimes you ask and you think, yeah, that would have happened anyway. Yeah, no way. But seriously, guys, keep asking. And at some point, you'll know that hasn't been answered by your angels. Because to me, like I've been doing this for so long now, I can literally feel them around me every
Wow.
day. And it's wonderful. You know, you're never alone because you know they're here. And yeah, as you say, you know, they're always having fun and a laugh as well. So yeah, I would say that sort of thing to do.
Wow. Speaking of feathers, so a long time ago, this is in 2012, 2013. I was at work and I was heavy in my drinking. I was drinking like almost every day at that time. And I didn't really pay attention to like feathers or anything like that. I'm just like, whoa, what a quinky dink, you know? So on my, on the cell phone, there's like that little tiny space. Maybe this is an
Mm.
old newer phone, but back then, oh, maybe like one of these little holes here. I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. A little tiny feather fit right inside there. And I was like,
What
I took a
color?
photo of it too. I had my friend take a photo of it
Whoa.
and send it to me because I couldn't use my phone to take a photo.
Yeah.
And it was a little feather. I'm like, what does this mean? I didn't pay any attention, but now I know that the angels were even around me, even during my darkest moments. So yeah, pay
Yeah, I mean,
attention.
for a feather to get there, that's pretty impossible, isn't it?
Right. I was like, how is this possible?
So, you know, when you see something like that, you have to know that it's them giving you a signal, we're here. We're here
Yeah, it
to
was
help.
so tiny. It was so tiny, like from like a miniature mini bird or something. I don't know.
I don't know how you would have got
Anyway,
that. That's
that
really
is it
strange.
was very interesting. I was like, this is very interesting. So I didn't really pay attention to it after that. I just took a photo of, I had
Yeah.
my friend take a photo of it and send it to me. So I do have it stored somewhere in my thread. I have to take a look at that and yeah, and make a nice post about it. Social
Yeah,
media
definitely.
as a
Definitely. It's like
reminder.
they're always around. And I think even if people are skeptical listening to this, just have an open mind and an open heart. You don't have to believe it. Just have an open mind about things and see where it takes you, like a lot of people, I think.
Yes. Now, you've written two books. One is called Ascending into the Light, and then the second one is called Manifesting from the Soul. Can you talk about
Yeah.
your books and what inspired you to write them?
All right. So ascending into the light is actually messages channeled from the angels. So in 2022 in the UK, we were in lockdown, so we were mostly at home. And I decided, like every weekend, I would write in a journal, Dear angels, what messages do you have for me today? And by then, I could, if you like, channel write. I'd get information being downloaded and I'd just write it out. And I got the message to publish it, so I put it, you know, it's published on Amazon, and it's just messages about how to manifest and how, about well-being it, a friend of mine says, you know, sometimes it might, oh, what's the word, it might not make complete sense, but it gives you this feeling of warmth and everything's all right. So it's a book channeled by the angels with that angelic energy inside it, which will help you, I think, to just feel that they're around and give you maybe insights on how to manifest and things like that. So that's Ascending into the Light, Messages from the Angels. And then my second book I published is called Manifesting with the Soul. And that basically is everything I've learned in the last 15 years distilled into one book. And it starts off by saying how, you know, as you know, babies are beautiful, aren't they? We all love babies and we all smile at them. And I think it's because their energy fields are so clear. They're like shining crystal energy fields, and we love it. But as we grow up, you know, as we get on those limiting beliefs, it's like buckets of dark energy are put into our energy fields. It's like you're not worthy, you don't deserve that. And our energy fields start to darken, which is our emotional, mental bodies. And so the book is like, well, how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of my limiting beliefs, my low self-worth? And there's lots of exercises, there's lots of tips, techniques to get you over the hurdle of getting over your limiting beliefs, putting empowering beliefs in. And also there's a whole section on how to connect to your angels, try and find your soul purpose. So if you're interested in yeah, the steps you can take to start to raise your vibration, that book will give you a step-by-step guide with lots of exercises on the things you can do. and also tell you how to connect with your angels. Again, more exercises on that. So it's like a one-stop shop
Love it.
on how to start working with your soul, quite frankly. And believe me, I have read pretty much every book in the mind, body, spirit thing. I've been on lots of workshops, and this is the distilled version. So yes, I would definitely get it if you want the
Yes.
summary of it all.
Yes, and I will go ahead and attach those links into the show notes so that way the
Yeah.
listeners can go ahead and get the book, including myself. Yeah, that's so neat. Yeah, so any last thoughts or words you like to share, or maybe perhaps if someone's feeling stuck in life and wants to shift their reality, what's the first step they should then take today?
I feel, right? I feel it's almost like if you're feeling stuck, just ask the universe for help. You don't even need to know what the help is. Just say, oh, please, I need some help, dear universe, dear angels. Just help me in the best way possible for now. And just see what comes to you. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in a low vibration, it doesn't matter if you're mainly anger or judgment, you'll start to get something. So I would start to always ask for help. Um, I would start to, if possible, just do gratitude. Anything. You can be grateful for the flower that's blossoming. It doesn't have to be anything amazing or the sunrise. And just try and get your mind into that sort of arena. And then it's also give yourself, what's the word, permission to do the work. It's like, I give you permission to be the best version of yourself. I give you permission to empower yourself. Sometimes it's almost like we don't feel we have the permission to do things. So I think I want everybody to know that they can live the best life that they've ever dreamt of. And you can create the best life you've ever wanted because it's all within you. And you might have been brought up to think you're not worthy, but I'm telling you right now, you are worthy, you are deserving. And, the angels, the universe, they will love you, whatever you do, and they will help you to manifest whatever you want. And that's another thing. I have days where I'm angry or I might shout at people, and you think, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. But even then, when I meditate, I feel that love. It's like it doesn't matter that you shouted at them when you got angry. We still love you. It doesn't matter. And I want people to know that they will always be loved unconditionally by the universe. And so, yes, give yourself permission to start to create the best life you can for yourself in small, small steps. Don't expect it to change in a week. Just take tiny baby steps to get situations changing to be more positive. So ask the universe, ask the angels for anything just to give you a brighter day, whatever it is. Focus on gratitude and just see where it takes you because you fully deserve to have a fabulous life. All of you listening.
Yes, I second that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. And lastly, how can our listeners go ahead and connect with you?
Yeah, so my blog is called Enlight One. So it's enlightening one. No, it's enlightening. I can say it.
And light
Enlightening
one.
people one by one. So
Yes, yes.
it's on Spotify, Apple, my podcast. I've got a blog on WordPress. So yeah, ENLIGHT and then one ONE. And I do like two podcasts. Well, it's by two a month kind of thing. But it basically gives you lots of like little steps and helps on how to create your goals, how to manifest what you want. And also, I work with people to help them overcome their limiting beliefs on whatever it is. So, I had a friend of mine, she'd been in the same job for about 7 years and she wanted a new job and she was really scared. So, I helped her to kind of get over those limiting beliefs about why she was scared of getting a new job. And you know what? 3 weeks later, she answered an ad and got a brand new job. So, it's amazing how, they're like brick walls, these beliefs. So I help people now to kind of just overcome that and start to put new beliefs in that will empower them and help them. So that's how you can get in touch with me and my books, of course, which, a good way of summarizing all that.
Amazing, Malti. Well, thank you so much for being on my show. I just know our listeners are glowing right now from the inside out because, yes, they are so worthy. And you're correct about everything. Everything is within us. And so thank you for sharing that message to them today.
Well, thank you for having me on your show. It's been lovely to talk to you, Gina. Really enjoyed it.
Me too. Thank you.